I just want to tell you a little bit about Weekly Dharma Gathering. We are a small group of a team. Most of us are here today. Alex Van Gils, Ashley Dingus, Sheena Brockington, myself, and Daisha Clark, who's not here. And we have been going for about 2 years now, since February of 2019. And we offer a weekly talk by a different teacher, invited teachers from different Buddhist and wisdom traditions. And sometimes during the early days of the pandemic, we were also offering twice a week free practices. So we're trying to also be a community that is responsive to whether it's holding sessions like this or on Instagram, or sometimes I record videos and put the statements on our social media. It's to be responsive and hold space for us as we experience both quotidian, everyday violence of structures and more spectacular violence, targeting, in this case, racist, misogynistic violence targeting women of Asian descent for the most part, as well as one white man, a white woman, and a Latino man who's not dead but is in intensive care. So with that, we're going to be providing some resources in the chat for communities and Buddhist meditation organizations that we know are doing good work, particularly centering Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And we also will be, available to answer questions later. So Alex, thank you.
Thank you, Shantae. And thank you everyone for being here. I feel so grateful that we have the weekly Dharma gathering and that we have the space that has been put together from all of our time practicing together and sharing Dharma together, so that when these moments arise, as they so often do, where we are shook and we are disoriented and we are hurting, we then have the resource of the space that we have built together and the care that we have shown for each other to depend on. So I'm so grateful to all of you for being here and for helping to create that space. So we are arriving here, and particularly in response to the violence of this week, the murder of 8 people in Atlanta, and also the continuing, intensifying moment of aggression throughout our society against Asian American people. And I want us to, we're not going to turn our microphones on, but I would like us all to just take a moment and feel what we're feeling and thinking as we're arriving for this moment together. For example, my body is vibrating with a sense of nearly not being able to hold this moment. And so I would ask all of us to take a moment. You can even hold your heart. and consider a word, or maybe 3 words, and if you feel open to it, share that word with all of us in the chat. See tender, sad, angry, frustrated, weary, hurt, tired. Thank you for sharing. The practice of Tonglen, which maybe some of us have done before, is, I think, a particularly helpful practice to do at any time. Certainly right now, it comes from teachings on the tradition of the Bodhisattva, one who has dedicated oneself to the benefit of others. And the practice is a practice of visualization. We are visualizing that we are actually taking in the pain and suffering of others, of the world, and that we are able to offer relief in exchange. And we visualize this. And as we visualize it and as we practice it, we come again and again in contact with our own heart. So our world is so painful, and without stopping, it could already be the weekend after these attacks occurred, and before we would know it, it would be the next week, and before we would know it, there would be a new something terrible that's occupying the news cycle. So instead, we take the space to actually feel what we are feeling, and this practice can help us connect to our heart in that. So first, we take our meditation posture. We're seated in a way that is relaxed and upright. And we begin by just allowing our mind to rest. We can begin this resting with our shamatha meditation. Let our mind ride the breath and just come into our body and the space around us. So for a few minutes, we'll just sit and feel our body breathing. And then I'll guide us a little bit further. I'll ring the gong, and as the gong note rings out, we can relax. Now we will enter the Tonglen practice itself. We just start by feeling a sense of open space and stillness. From that stillness, we can start to feel a sense of texture. When we breathe in, we can breathe in a heavy, claustrophobic, dark, hot. Sometimes it's been taught to me as almost a sticky smoke texture. We breathe out a feeling of cool, bright light. You can breathe in that hot, heavy, sticky, dark feeling. And with your out breath, it is just a fresh relief. It's your lungs that is doing this breathing, but it's also all of the pores in your body. We say this is a visualization, but we are encouraged to feel it, not just see it. We can feel that heaviness, claustrophobia, and we can feel that relief. And next, as I've been taught, we visualize that texture, that heaviness, and that relief is tied to situation, person, something that we are feeling, something that's real to us, that's connected to us. So for me, I'm starting with exactly how I'm feeling right now about this moment. All those words that we shared about how we're feeling, I'm allowing that texture, that heaviness to be connected to personal situation. Breathing in and breathing out relief. at this point on, our practice is going to open more and more to include more. So next, I might visualize that the heaviness and the claustrophobia, the pain that I am breathing in is that is shared by the people here in this gathering together. And as I breathe out that relief and coolness and light, it is touching all of us gathered here. And as we expand the circle of care from which we are bringing in the heavy suffering, thick, sticky smoke, and extending out the cool light of relief, I'll ask if Shantae could put the names of the 8 victims in the chat. We can bring these individuals, their suffering, everyone close to them, their suffering. We have the capacity in this practice to actually take that pain and suffering and return relief. As we continue, we have completely the capability to take in this heaviness and extend the light. And we can even open that further. We are invited to open up the space that we are bringing in suffering from, and I invite you to guide this at your own pace out to other people that have been touched by this violence, others in our society who are suffering. Ultimately, the entire world. We can see that as we expand, we are breathing in that heaviness and pain, and we are always able to offer back that relief. We'll do this for a few more minutes together. And finally, we can allow this visualization to dissolve and return for a few more moments to the feeling of the body breathing in this restful, upright seat. after doing practice like this, it is said that we have been generating merit, and we can dedicate that merit also to the benefit of all sentient beings. So if you know the dedication of merit from the Shambhala tradition, you could say it along with me. If not, I'll say it for all of us here. By the confidence of the golden sun of the great east, may the lotus garden of the Rigton's wisdom bloom. May the dark ignorance of sentient beings be dispelled. May all beings enjoy profound, brilliant glory. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Alex, and thank you all for being here. And please feel free to stay in contact with us. Ashley Dinges, who's in the same frame with Alex, will be teaching next week on radiating confidence. Sheena Brockington just taught this past week on the heart is talking, and Christina Lopez will be teaching at the end of the month on liberating death. So you can find that all either on our Linktree, our Instagram, or on our website. And so please sign up on our mailing list and join us. And we hope to continue to offer more impromptu gatherings like this for everyone. So thank you so much.